you gotta do that so many times for so many hours before you can actually, there we are, hook that. Now that looks like a crappie. That is a crappie. Alright, that's a nice crappie. What's happening, folks? Welcome back to Double G Outdoors TV. Well, we're on week, today is week 2, and still have not got my new boat. Waiting on it, and all I had done was a trolling motor added. A different trolling motor. Oh! Ooh, that was a good bite there. And, you know, a little frustrated. I should be out on the boat this weekend, but I'm not, so whatever. A little frustrating. So it warmed up for the last few days, and then it rained quite a bit yesterday, and the temperature dropped back down some. So right now it's currently about 45 degrees, but it's supposed to get up pretty nice today and tomorrow. Throw a worm out here and let her float around for a little while. Got a few that I need to finish using. Yes, it's not a regular hook. That's just because I'm not ready to tie a hook on. And of course I forgot my slime rag. So pants it is. It's the pants today. Pant leg. It's the pant leg today. We're just gonna set you down, I guess. Let it ride. And we're gonna go over here and see what else I can drum up. That just tells you though. Just slow. Even night crawlers, I mean, just a slow bite, man. Frustration's real for me right now. The boat thing's starting to honk me off. I ain't gonna lie to people. You know, I don't know if you're familiar with a cable saver on a trolling motor, but that's the part that they were missing and that I had to approve. It was quite literally 4 days after I bought the boat. And they called me and had to get the approval, and it's about $200 and some for a cable saver. You're telling me that that's, you know, 2 weeks worth of waiting? I just have trouble buying that, you know. But that's how these companies work, man. They're just, I don't know. You know, I say we got about 2-3 weeks, and then the crappie spawn's going to be coming on here in Ohio. Oh, I'm 100% under and going. And I was not paying attention, too far away. Yeah, it was gone. She gone. That was a whoopsie daisy. I really need to just cut this line and put on a real hook. Honestly. Alright, we're gonna stand out here a little close to my work. A little closer to my work here. And get some of the slack out of the line. I think I just got drilled. I did. I drilled right away. Which tells me it's probably bluegill. Which is fine. You know, when they're not super aggressive and they're just barely biting and stuff, it's hard to fish 2 poles. All right, we're hooked up. There we go. Hey, another blue Gilligan. We got us a blue Gilligan. All right, looky there. Pretty little fish. Quit, my guy. Jeez, I'm trying to get you out. He's peeing. All right, there he goes. So we're going to do this break-in procedure on the engine, and you got to run idle, and then you got to run half throttle for so many minutes, you know, and you got to do that so many times for so many hours before you can actually, ooh, there we are, hooked up. Now that looks like a crappie. That is a crappie. All right, that's a nice crappie. Nice crappie. Now, he's not a keeper or nothing, but good fish for a pond. So, just to give you guys a scenario of how big old boy he is, or reference, sorry, better word for it. Here he is. Now, button up against that. Yeah, he's a 10-inch fish. Definitely a 10-inch fish. He just see this darkening? That's a male crappie. He's just starting to. They're getting ready to come in a spawn here in the next few weeks. So we're gonna cut him loose. We'll let him do his thing. If I catch a few more, then we'll stick with it. we'll start keeping a few of them, but I'm gonna see how it goes. So that was on, I have to look at the colors, but it has a Catchmore bait. Just bringing it in real slow. And I could tell he was better than a bluegill right away. Just, oh, I got another hit right there. It's a good color for clear water. Just to get you another look at what we're, oh, whoops. She's pulled down a little bit. That might have been from the last fish, but just to get you a little color to it. It's like a pearly, sparkly white. I forget the name of it. We'll get it here in a minute. I'd say probably this evening, as soon as I mean, it's supposed to get up to 80 some degrees a day. So it gets up to whatever the high is this afternoon's going to be pretty dang decent, but I got something going on. Not going to get to be out in the evening. This rip-rap stuff, you know, these rocks and stuff, like this is a rock. All the way around me is rock. That's why I keep coming right here. I know the crappie come into this all the time. And right now I think I'm just picking up a rogue fish here or there. Alright, we picked a couple off. Three. 2 bluegill and a crappie. Terrible numbers. Slow bite. Bluegill came off a worm. My only crappies come off this Catchmore bait. Two of them approached my bait. One of them's got it, and that is a largemouth. He picked her up off the bottom. I did not realize he was a largemouth until, because I could see him and see the bluegill picking it up. Choked it. All right, little largemouth. Getting a little big on. Okay. So the little largies are still willing to suck it. I seen him suck that bait in. And when he did, I set the hook. Because I thought I did that completely by sight though. I mean, I felt it in the rod, but I just still 100% did it by sight on that one. But all I was doing was, I literally, when I seen that big one, bluegill come over there, I literally just started popping it off the bottom and jigging it real slow. And then all of a sudden that largemouth just kind of came out of nowhere. He just kind of real slow and he eased up to it. And the bluegill just paused. And then he just sucked her up. You know, something else, when you're allowing for your lure to drop down, think about this too. Different bait materials are more buoyant than others. Buoyant meaning that they float better and it takes longer for them to drop. They're not as heavy as some. So, you know, there's all kinds of things that go into figuring your count method. You know, because we know a 1/32 ounce head drops at a foot per second. If I just threw the head out there, it would drop at a foot per second. But then you add this thing, it might be buoyant, onto it. It might float, you know, it may take it a little longer. So in some of these lures I'm trying out right now, I'm pretty positive. I haven't figured out, they're brand new to me. I haven't figured out the timing on how far it's taking them to fall down. And we're heading for a tangle up here. So let's just go ahead and do this. Might as well just go ahead and pitch this thing on out there. That's where it's heading anyway, right? Good Lord, that caught the wind and just freaking went. So I checked into putting my little boat in here, and I can do that. And I think me and my wife are going to try that. Yeah, we're super duper trying here, folks, but still cold water temperatures in Ohio. I mean, just everything I'm seeing, it's still in the low 50s. Like, and I mean, sometimes it's in the 40s from what everybody's putting out there. So on all the water temp reports. All right, so here's what I think I'm going to do with this. I think I'm going to bump my slip. Yeah, I think I need to. We're going to go at least that far with it. Yeah, man, how did I get that far down? I was fishing way too shallow. No wonder I ain't getting hardly any bites anymore. Way too shallow. Yeah, look at that. Dropped it down in the water column a lot deeper. Hooked up. Very first cast. Bluegill. I think there's a bed right there, I swear. I think it shallows up right there. When I get my little boat out here with my depth finder, I'll tell you. My little castable, one side of it doesn't seem to be wanting to recharge right now. So I'm going to investigate a little further. All right. Little guy. Eyeball. And he's gone. Swimming away. He's like, ouch, my jaw hurts. Yep, that's what it was, man. Must not have been paying attention to how deep it was there. 'Cause I no sooner than got it down a little farther, we started getting a bite there. Very first cast. There ain't much there. There ain't much there. Just out here burning worms. Yeah, if you're just joining in, though, I'm basically just trying to kill. I have some worms that are almost I don't have very many left. It's what I've been fishing off of for a couple weeks, but I think my little fridge went bad, and so anyway, I'm trying to use what I got left before they do all die, because I've had a few of them die already. So I'm trying to make it happen. So there's our Catch More bait I was talking about. That's the color. And the color is called White Lightning. That is White Lightning with that green tail on it that we were using on our other one that I caught the crappie and the largemouth on. Catch More baits, White Lightning. Boy, they're just, the bite's sucking. Hooked up as soon as I said it. Super funny. Another minuscule bluegill. Quit, my guy. Put the old Sharpies back in. I can feel you getting me on the side of my hand there. So there he is. Little guy. Off and gone. Alright, so we got... Let's see if we can get that off of there real quick. Alright, so we got one more off of that last worm we're using. Oh, dang it. Well, I'll try a hand right there, I guess. Hooked up. So, got us another. Let me wipe the face off, folks. Another worm smasher. She gone. Yeah, I think there's just dropped a piece of that worm in the water. Just certain spots they want to hit at. But there's, again, the little ones are biting. It's just a matter of time. A couple days of good warm weather is going to do justice for everything, even our lakes. I was really wanting a phone call from the marine company that I bought the boat from. I mean, they ain't giving me bad customer service so far. It's just, you know, it's hard for me to believe it's taken that long to get that part. You're talking to someone who orders parts every day, or, you know, every few days for what I do for a living. I have parts delivered to me all week long. Used to be, oh, Jody, I completely missed that one. Oh, good, he got the last bit of the worm. But, you know, I am in the parts. I used to be the parts guy for the entire Columbus branch for the old company I worked at at one point in time. So, when you start telling me things about parts and things, you know, you're not talking to someone who doesn't know. So let's just be realistic about it. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt on it. Ah, there's the one I dropped earlier. The old split shot. I thought it fell on the ground under the bench. I was gonna look for it when I got done. It fell right there. So, folks, that was literally our last one. All right, take your trash with you, people. Don't keep your trash, or don't throw your trash down. All right, folks. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for the day. I got through what I wanted to do. I want to get through all the worms, burning those night crawlers before, you know, I lost a couple of them that died. But before I did that, I wanted to make sure I get through the rest of them. So I did that, so I really didn't waste any bait. Like I said, I think my little fridge went bad at home, my little mini fridge I keep my bait in. So got to get a new one of those. But if you like what we're doing, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, do all that good noise, smash that alarm bell button, change it to all, that way you get content notifications. And we'll see you real soon.